Mr. Attorney General, I want to return to the illegal protest outside of Supreme Court justices' homes last summer. It's plainly unlawful to protest outside of a judge's home to influence the outcome of a pending case. You testified earlier that as far as you know, no charges have been brought against those protesters, but you never really explained why. Why have no charges been brought against those protesters?
The decision about making arrests is left to the marshals on scene. Their principal
Marshals are law enforcement officials. They're not prosecutors. I did not say arrests. I said charges. These people were not criminal masterminds. They posted videos of themselves on their social media accounts. They advertised the protest in advance. It is possible to arrest someone for an offense after the offense has occurred, has it not?
It is, and
why did you not send anyone to arrest those protesters in the days after the protests?
We're allocating our resources towards protecting the lives of the justices and their families. Decisions have to be made on the ground as to what is the best way to protect those lives.
Mr. Attorney General, do you not think that it would perhaps provide a deterrent effect if you arrested some of these criminal protesters and charged them and threw them in federal prison?
We are trying to protect the lives of the justices. That is our principal priority. I'm leaving it to the Marshal Service to make determinations on the ground. They have to make determinations about what they see on the ground.
Look, consider the efforts your department has put into tracking down everyone who was even on the Capitol grounds on January 6, 2021. You've dedicated millions of man-hours to study videotape, to do forensic analysis of computers and devices, to go knock and conduct interviews. You can't allocate just a few agents to look at people's social media accounts and say they were present outside of a justice's home. We're going to go arrest them and charge them. It's a black letter violation of the law.
Our priority is violence and threats of violence and protection of the lives of the justices, and that is what we're doing.
Again, these are not criminal masterminds. They posted pictures and videos of themselves protesting. You could probably go arrest one today from a cold start. Why can't you do that?
I'm saying again, our purpose is to protect the lives and safety of the justices. That's how we're allocating resources.
You sent the FBI, as several senators pointed out, to do an early morning raid on Mark Houck's home in front of his children for the grave crime of singing hymns and saying prayers outside of an abortion clinic, charges of which he was acquitted by a jury of his peers within an hour. You can't send the FBI to track down anybody who is protesting outside the home of a Supreme Court justice?
And I want to be clear, our purpose here is to protect the lives and safety of the justices.
I think
that's why we're doing that.
The answer is that you are sympathetic to the protesters, that you didn't like the decision the justices were about to issue. I think we all know what you would do if a bunch of conservative protesters were outside the home of a Democratic appointed justice to the Supreme Court.
No one has ever been arrested under that
statute. It's a
statute
simple black
under those
letter legal
circumstances.
violation. You will not send a single agent to conduct a single arrest and charge them on something that they have zero defense for. It's because you're sympathetic to left-wing protesters.